So it seems as though most kids my age, but around the teenager years, and even leading into adulthood, and even beyond that, it seems a lot of people in this generation, and the previous generation, and maybe even the one before that, are not taking life seriously. They are treating life as if they're never going to die, and that life is just like having as much fun and happiness and joy as possible. And if you're happy in life, then you're successful. That seems to be the mentality of most people around my age and even double my age. And that leads to a uninteresting, boring life that no one wants to live, because maybe this is a sad thing, but you can't live a happy life your entire life. There's going to be moments when life sucks. That's how it is. And you know what? I'm happy for it, because in those moments when you're sick, when you've broken a bone, when your business just failed and you're in debt, in those sad moments, those are not only the moments that you can gain and extract lessons from to never make the mistake again, but they're also moments that allow you to enjoy life. The moments when you don't enjoy life are the reason you do enjoy life. Because if life was always happy, then it would be boring. Because it would be the only type of life that you had, and you wouldn't enjoy it as much. But if you spent half your life suffering and half your life living in peace and joy and happy, you would not only enjoy that peaceful life more, but the half of your life that sucked, you might actually start to enjoy that. Because whenever you get comfortable somewhere, people think that you can only get comfortable in a happy life, but you can get comfortable in a terrible life. You can get comfortable living under a tree in the woods, and that can be a normal life to you, where for someone else, that would be their worst nightmare. So when people say don't get comfortable, they're implying don't get comfortable in a normal, boring life working a 9 to 5. But I say don't get comfortable anywhere. Don't get comfortable working a business and just being rich all the time. Spend all your money. This this isn't really advice on how to make more money. This is advice on how to enjoy life. If you're a millionaire and you want to enjoy life, spend all your money. Trust me, it'll make you enjoy life more. And people seem to have this idea that money is super, super valuable. It's so valuable, so hard to obtain. And if you spend $400,000 on a car, you're just a dummy. Like $400,000. Go ask Elon Musk. Say when's the last time that you went to the grocery store or you went to dinner and you actually looked at the price and went, "Oh, $900. Oh no, he's a billionaire. He doesn't care about money. He spent like what, like 40 billion something dollars on Twitter and then lost half of it. He doesn't care about money. So if you adopt the identity as of a rich person, you're going to have the same mindset, and you might not have the same bank balance. You might not have the same capabilities. You might not have the same network. But if you have the same mindset, if you take the exact mindset of a billionaire, the chance of you becoming a billionaire has increased. If you think like a billionaire, if you act like a billionaire, if you talk like a billionaire, you are more of a billionaire than before. But you didn't even change your bank balance, because part of the title of billionaire is the mindset. If you don't have the right mindset, you'll never become a billionaire because you don't know how to do it. And likely, this is very likely, if you, let's say you wake up every single day and you say the most amount of money that I'll ever be able to make is $10,000 a month. And you tell yourself that from today until the day you die. You just tell yourself that every single day. Do you think you're going to make more than $10,000? Probably not. If you continuously tell yourself that that's all you're going to make, you're probably going to stay at that level. So if you tell yourself, I'm going to make $1 billion a month, and you tell yourself that every single day, but you don't just tell yourself, you also take actions, you also actually start a business and you actually try to do it. You telling yourself that is going to make you more money. People are going to think this is insane. But all you have to do, if you want to change your entire life, if you want to go from somebody making 2 grand a month, 3 grand a month, 4 grand a month, to a billionaire, the not only the first change you should make and the first change you have to make, but the biggest change you can make isn't your bank balance, it's your mindset. Because if you just woke up and then someone just gives you $1 billion, it's like you're a billionaire, but you don't know how to run a business. You're probably going to lose most of the money, and you don't have the right mindset. Because part of becoming rich is learning. You learn about life, and that's the biggest benefit. I want to get rich. I want to have money so I can be free to live where I want. I can buy what I want. I can do what I want, etc. But even more importantly than that, I will have met important people that are also billionaires that also know things so they can teach me other things. I'll have learned a lot about life and how the world works. And my entire lifestyle is going to change because likely if you're a billionaire, you're likely eating the highest quality foods, you're likely getting high quality sleep, you can buy products and supplements, you're likely very healthy. You can buy the best fitness coach. So, I mean, if you're a billionaire and you're not jacked, I don't know what you're doing because you can just get as fit as you want. So, there's tons of benefits to becoming a billionaire other than just being able to buy and do whatever you want. And so, few people actually have enjoyable lives. And I would argue that people like Elon Musk, David Goggins, Andrew Tate, the people that work all day long, I would argue they have better lives than people that only work 8 hours a day instead of 20 hours and 16 hours a day. I would argue the people that work harder and that work for longer periods of time actually have more enjoyable lives. Because you have to think, people will like to focus on the negatives of everything if they don't want to do it. And if they do want to do something, they'll focus on the positives and they'll actually take the negatives and try and make it positive. Whenever humans have an opinion, the only way you can change them is by emotionally affecting them. You can't get them logically. They're not going to listen. So they are just going to sit there and defend their opinion. Go watch like 100 debates and find one of them where somebody actually changed their mind. It doesn't happen because you have to emotionally affect them. They come with all these facts and all these studies, and it does nothing because people aren't going to naturally look for the truth. They're going to naturally try and defend the opinions that they already made. And so going back to why few people have enjoyable lives, it's because of their mindset. If their mindset was the more I work, the less happy I am, then they'd be very unhappy. But likely their mindset's actually the other way around. They believe that the harder they work, the more happy they'll be. And actually, something you have to understand. Rich people, successful people, people with good mental health, they don't actually focus on being happy. Because the more you focus on being happy, the less happy you're actually going to be. Because the quickest and easiest way to get happy are those cheap habits. Video games, TikTok, junk food, basically. It's pretty much just garbage put into a can or a plastic bag with microplastics in it. And those are going to eventually they're going to eventually lead into a less successful, less happy, and less interesting life, which is what most people already have. So focus on success and focus on God, and then the other things are going to come naturally. And so the action steps of this video, because this video is titled, You Need to Take Your Life Seriously, or It's Time to Take Your Life Seriously. And so the first way you can do that is to make a business. Because making a business requires a change in mindset. You cannot go from playing video games straight to playing, or go from playing video games straight to playing real life by making a business and trying to become successful in real life. You can't just make that change with zero mental change. If you're watching this video, you've likely watched very many other self-improvement content videos, or maybe this is your first video somehow. Likely, you've already had a mental change. And that is step one to making a business, is you have to have a change. You have to have the mentality where you know, I need to work hard to be successful. The second thing is get healthier. Now, making a business is great. Working 16 hours a day, that's fine. But sleep is very important. I'm not telling you to sleep more. I'm telling you to make your sleep as effective as possible. One of the ways you can do this, it needs to be dark, it needs to be quiet in your room, it needs to be colder, it needs to be 62, 64 degrees, whatever. If it's just cold enough to where you can notice, that's like, I feel like that's the perfect temperature. It's perfect. Now, if you set your room temperature to 65 degrees, and then you throw a big blanket on with your hoodie on and all that, it all cancels out and there's no point. So cold room, dark room, quiet room. I believe sunlight in the morning, that helps some people. Drinking lots of water, be hydrated. I don't think you should drink coffee. I think coffee makes you more productive, but I feel like overall it probably makes your life worse. Considering the fact that I think of it as like steroids. Like you take steroids and you get bigger muscles, but then your body stops producing testosterone. So I feel like coffee's just the same, where you can take coffee and it'll be super productive, but your body like slows energy production because like, oh, energy, we have plenty of energy, we don't need any more energy, so we'll just slow that production or stop that production because we're getting it from an external source. So that's my opinion on coffee. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe coffee is perfectly healthy. If it is, I'll drink it. If it's not, I won't drink it. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't think I need coffee. If you're under the age of 30, you shouldn't need coffee. You should be fine. If you have a high testosterone level, you have plenty of energy anyways. The last action step is to learn and change your mindset. Now, technically, changing your mindset is step one, but I'm talking about a massive change in mindset. And I think the biggest mindset change that I had after joining the self-improvement space and developing all these ideas, like I need to work out, need to get in the gym, need to get girls. Other than that initial start about 2 years ago, a few months ago, actually, no, that's more like 6 months ago. Actually, that's like 9 months ago now. The biggest mindset shift that I had was when I started following God. Because when you start following God, a lot of the things you learn in your self-improvement journey, now you might do the same things, but you have different motives now. You no longer want to make money just to have, just to look like you're having a nice life and have all these cars and whatever, nice houses. You no longer care about those things. You no longer care about having a bunch of girlfriends like these alpha males tell you to have. You no longer care about that. You now care about following God's commandments, which is much more important, is going to make you significantly happier by making you fulfilled than any amount of girlfriends or private jets or all these things. All these things, they sound cool. I'm not gonna lie, they sound cool. They look cool online. People look like they have amazing lives. But the truth is that there's a lot of work that goes into that. And most people, once you get to like a billionaire status, you no longer care about a private jet. It's just a plane that goes quicker. You just travel the world faster. That's all it is. A fast car, once you have 10 of them, no one cares anymore. So it seems like these rich people Like they get in their car and that makes them happy. But eventually you just get bored of it. It's just a normal car. No one cares. So eventually, at some point, I think all these billionaires that are all these alpha males, these millionaires that are selling products and whatever, that are telling you get all these girlfriends and all these wives and 4 wives. I think eventually they're going to actually turn away from that and they're going to shift more towards the content that I'm making, where I'm teaching you the parts of self improvement that people seem to be leaving out in their videos, which is God, which should be the foundation in the first place. I had to completely change my mindset that I had for a year and a half. I had to completely change it, brand new mindset, just because these people leave out God and their motives are instead fame and influence and power and all these things. And of course, even as Christians, we still want power, we still want control over our lives, we still want the power. Like if we could snap our hands and make the entire world Christian, we would do so. Um, but it's a different motive. It's not a power for our gain, it's a power for the gain of others. You can join my free community with the first link in my bio. It's time to do the hard work starting now.